Hello, everybody. My name is Brian, and this is the New American Media. Now, the New American Media is a lot of different things. It's TNAM Food and Drink. It's the Agree to Disagree show. It's the Unhappy Hour. It's TNAM Preparedness. It's TNAM Fake News, Debunking Conspiracy Theory Hub. It's all sorts of different things. Basically, we cover all of the day's events, cover what's going on. Now, I'm going live for a reason. I got an email saying that they're going to remove monetization on this channel because I haven't posted a lot of stuff lately. Fine, granted, I'll give you that. The reason, well, it's kind of because you've made monetization on here pretty impossible, pretty ridiculous. Ariana Grande, remember there was a concert and there was a unfortunate event with somebody doing this thing, and I covered it as news when it happened. Well, mine was taken down and censored and demonetized, but ABC and NBC and CBS were definitely allowed to cover their story and make money on their advertising. So, I mean, it's been very apparent for a long time now that YouTube has become a hostile platform and really an untrustworthy business partner. So forgive me if I don't spend hundreds of additional hours creating original content for you, only to be kind of spurned and scorned and tossed in the dumpster here at the company. So anyway, that aside, we do have an audience here, and there's a lot of subjects that we cover. Just look for the New American Media. We're on all these different platforms. Probably Rumble, I'm hearing, is a nice spot to check out. So we'll be headed over there. But look, today I just wanted to give you an update. In the world of COVID, this is what the latest is. I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan. That's a big part of the Unhappy Hour sports show. By the way, these are available. Wooden coasters for our sports show, the Unhappy Hour. Big Indians, Cavs, Browns, and Buckeye fans. And also these pins. These are 25 with shipping included, and the coasters are 30. If you're interested, just type a comment below and let me know. But here's what's going on. 17 players and 2 coaches have been ruled out for the Cleveland Browns for this game. This game isn't even on Sunday. It's going to be on Saturday against the Las Vegas Raiders. So Joel Bitonio, he's making a case for daily testing to return. He's saying when you're only testing once a week, things can come up and they kind of spread, especially if you're not showing symptoms. So we're trying to figure out what this means now for the Cleveland Browns. They have to figure out, are they going to forfeit the game? Well, remember, the NFL came out and said that would be a possibility, but that would be if a team was unvaccinated. But, oh, by the way, I don't even know if I can say that word on this network. It's not a network, it's a distribution service, this YouTube thing. They don't like us talking about anything that matters, which is kind of why I don't bother talking here much anymore. But let it rip. What are you going to do? Demonetize me again? But no, the Browns are a vaccinated team, all things considered. But now here's what we got to figure out. The team is going to be missing the following players for this Saturday's game. Baker Mayfield, safety John Johnson III, cornerback Troy Hill, defensive tackle Malik McDowell, defensive end, I don't know his name, he doesn't play as much, Efiadi Odenigbo, safety Nate Meters, who's on the practice squad. Head coach Kevin Stefanski. Remember, this happened last year in the playoffs. And assistant coach Ryan Cordell tested positive. Tight end David Njoku, linebacker Anthony Walker, punter Jamie Gillen. They tested positive last week, but they remain in protocol at the moment. So the Browns, dealing with the first wave of infections, have added tight end Nick Gagamos, wide receiver Alexander Hollins, and tackle Elijah Nkansa to the practice squad. Yeah, so it's Mayfield, left tackle Jedrick Wills, right guard Wyatt Teller, tight end Austin Hooper, wide receiver Jarvis Landry. I mean, this is just brutal. So an offense playing Saturday would probably have Case Keenum at quarterback, Blake Hance at left tackle, guard Michael Dunn and Jamarcus Bradley at wide receiver. Harrison Bryant might be able to come back if he gets through his high ankle sprain. Okay, and we're down Tack Kinley is. It's just this article keeps going on. So what do we do about this? There's this variant that's spreading, and it's variant scary. But if you talk to other people, they're saying no, this is like a free immunization. It's very mild according to a lot of reports that I'm reading. And by the way, never believe what anyone tells you. Do your own research. And if someone tells you doing your own research is a dumb thing, always question the source of that, because I'm sure they're going to try to sell you their snake oil. I never want you to believe a single thing I say. I want you to look it up on your own. But, you're hearing that this is very mild and it's more highly transmissible, which could be a good thing for herd immunity to just get it over with and burn it out, like viruses always do. So trying to figure out with all of these leagues and all these, and that's the other part of this. Yeah, see, this is why I can't even talk to you, because it's like I'm constantly weighing what's going to get me canceled. But if an organization needs to change their definition of what the word vaccine is, I'm going to be very curious about the drug that you're pushing me to take then. Because we know what a vaccination is. You take something and it prevents you from getting the thing. They've wanted to change like they say racism. You can't, racism is only things white people do, is what you hear some college professors and some acolytes who go to these courses, and what they'll regurgitate. They'll say, well, if there's a group that's been traditionally marginalized, or a group that's traditionally not in a position of power, they can't be racist. Which is one of the most ridiculous things you'll ever hear, because racism is ugly, hate-filled ideology. That's it. Every type of human can have racism toward any other type of human. But it's all about this twisting definitions things. That's a part of this that really it makes conversation intellectually dishonest. When you're framing you have a straw man. You're creating this thing that isn't, and then you're rallying against it and making a point against something that nobody's saying. But this thing that they're giving out, these pharmaceutical companies, it doesn't prevent you from getting it. It doesn't prevent you from spreading it. So it's not a vaccine. It's a vaccine as defined by these newly defined and changed, tweaked parameters that say, I don't know, and you can pull up the specific definition of what that is, but it changed it to say, well, if it's going to lessen symptoms, or if it's going to lead you on a path to a slightly reduced amount of. Oh, okay, fine. So, I mean, now you're saying vitamin C is a vaccine. You're saying vitamin D is a vaccine. You're saying zinc is because it's reducing and alleviating symptoms. That's a vaccine means you take a vaccine and you don't get the thing. That's not what's happening right now. So you have the NFL trying to comply with these vaccine mandates, but they don't prevent players from spreading it. They don't keep you from getting it. So why not just let them play? That's the number one question I have. Why not just let the players play? Sign up for it, walk away from it, what have you. You want to play? Here's your chance. Because there's no running from it. And this isn't to say it's not real. We all know about the bioweapons lab in Wuhan, China. If you're allowed to say that on this network, or this distribution method, this platform, which I know you're not, but I don't care because it's reality. But we know it's real, and we know that it's significantly impacted and negatively, it's severely harmed and killed lots of people. Just like a lot of viruses always do, just like the flu has always done. We always need to be careful with our health. Drop some extra weight, fill up with vitamins and nutrients, good food, good fuel, exercise, vitamin D, get out in the sun. You're supposed to do all of these things anyway, and America is really not a great place with that. There's a lot of room for improvement. But the point is, there's no hiding from this. You can't, it's not going to go away. You can't just put a piece of cloth on your face and be like, oh, yep, things are fine now. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to get in and around the masks, because if they're not N95s, they're barely... they're not preventing you from getting it, they're slightly reducing the amount that you shoot out, according to some studies. We're all just trying to do the best that we can, but at some point, I think you should put your hands up and go, look, to each their own. You make your own choice. Whatever you determine that to be. You want to sit out a season? Fine, sit out a season. You want to play? Play. But this, like, in between, we all took this shot of drugs, and it's going to reduce significant harm if/when we get this, but it won't prevent us from giving it to other people. But if we do take this test, but the PCR test has always had the flu and COVID, and it's never been intended to diagnose COVID-19 ever. The inventor of the PCR test told you this, and then they ramp the cycles up so much that it picks it up everywhere. I mean, we're testing in a way that it's not designed to be tested. We're getting false positives. We're spreading it anyway. We're contracting it anyway. What are we still running and hiding from? Why don't you just let the players play? And I think that's my official stance. My official stance since March of 2020 has also been that we don't need to do shutdowns over this. We don't need to do lockdowns. In fact, we damn well shouldn't. We should be very weary and leery. Leery or weary? We should be very suspicious of any groups or entities that are pushing for this, because you never waste the opportunity to take advantage of a crisis. Do you remember who said that? That was, take a guess? Rahm Emanuel. There are people that are exploiting this, and this is a bioweapon, and it was unleashed, and it was an act of war, and this has drastically impacted our economy, the globe, free travel. It's brought into question social credit scores, compliance. You can't move around or go to the grocery store. If you don't take this mark, you're not going to be allowed to participate in civil society. Take this drug. Here, we're going to shoot this thing into you. No long-term studies, but look, it's a thing. I've been against all of this for the slippery slope reason, for the practical reason, for the scientific information reason. And so nothing has really changed, except that I haven't been talking to you very much on this platform because it's been made abundantly clear what's welcome and what's not welcome here. So all that being said, the Cleveland Browns, we're trying to figure out, will we have to cancel the game? I don't think so. I don't think that's what the NFL had in mind. They wanted to get compliance from the players, to get buy-in, to get vaccination numbers up, to try to alleviate any potential risk, although the myocarditis, and you're seeing soccer players all across Europe having issues after taking this thing. There's a lot of questions, and it should be an individual decision. If you want to risk your fertility, take the thing. If you want to risk getting the virus, don't take the thing. You want to risk getting myocarditis, you want to risk getting it and passing it along. There's pros and cons to deciding to get the drug, and I'm going to call it a drug because it's not a V. It's just not. It doesn't prevent you from getting it. It does a few things that are purported to be good, and we don't know all of the potential side effects. That's just the reality. Anybody that tells you anything else is being disingenuous. But all that stuff being said, Cleveland Browns were in prime position now to win the division after beating the Baltimore Ravens last week. Prime position to not lock in a playoff spot, but with the Ravens playing Green Bay and us playing the Raiders, Raiders are in the hunt. We could knock them down. We could jump up again, be in charge of our division. Now we're without our coach, we're without our quarterback, without our receiver, without our tight ends, without 2 or 3 of our linemen. This is not good. But remember, we did have some setbacks against the Pittsburgh Steelers last year in the playoffs, and we came out and rocked them. So it is possible. It is possible for us to win the game, of course. But it's going to be challenging, without a doubt. It's going to be challenging. I mean, luckily the game's at home, but good God, sometimes it just feels like sometimes if it weren't for bad luck, the Cleveland Browns wouldn't have any luck at all. But That's the old way of thinking. That's loser think. I don't want to spend my time dwelling on the woe is me component. It's just, guess what? We got both hands tied behind our backs this week. We'll see, because if this thing's tearing through the team and tearing through the facility, who's to say we're going to stop at 17? At what point are we going to be missing most of our team? You got 11 on each side. I mean, we're down 17, right? Do the math. Some of these positions are a little interchangeable, what have you, but you see what I'm getting at. This could get a lot worse. But anyway, just a quick hit to keep the channel active. To remind you that we're on all the other platforms. Find us and thenewamericanmedia.com. Doing a revamp, as always. Facebook deleted our page with no explanation, no cause, no attempt offered to remedy any alleged issue. So we'll be going to Rumble. We'll be going to Truth Social. But just look around for us. We're never going to stop. We just haven't done as much here because you're not honest business partners. I'd put 9 years into developing a partnership with YouTube, and I feel very betrayed. This used to be a place where people got together and shared content and conversations, and I enjoy that. I value that. I want to talk about UFOs, aliens, God, viruses, conspiracies, everything, every topic under the sun, sports, music, all the things. I don't want a single thing to be off limits, but big tech has kind of decided they want to pretend to be social overlords of the arbiters of truth. Even though if you saw on Facebook, that was a lawsuit. Was it John Stossel, I believe, sued them for putting a warning, a fake news alert or false information. And they admitted in court that their fake information banners, that's just opinion. Yeah, so it's their opinions. They try to silence people they don't like. But that's fine. I don't have an agenda. I don't care about what any of you think other than I'm going to try to provide you up-to-date information as I see it happening. I want you to double check and critique me. Everybody makes mistakes or slips of the tongue, or you type something and it meant to come out a different way. Accidental mistakes are one thing, but intentional deception is another. And I think we've seen everything we need to see from legacy media to realize they're not. Legacy media and big tech, you can't trust any of them. You can't trust the big search engines. You can't trust Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Facebook, you can't just trust them at all. ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN, Disney. No. Everybody's pushing an agenda. It seems to be one globalist agenda. I don't know how coordinated this is, accidentally, intentionally, but it's one big agenda. If you're on the outside of it, they want to make you feel crazy. That's all right. Our track record has been pretty spot on. The whole time. We've always been giving you undercovered stories, underreported content, underreported stories, things that the other companies are trying to bury and hide from you. They've coined terms to try to make you feel crazy, but they're the crazy ones. Don't forget that. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting week with the Cleveland Browns, so I would encourage you to just stay tuned, comment. What do you think about the NFL's COVID policy? Are you still watching? Are you still watching pro sports after everything got woke last year? Because it really sucked the joy out of the unhappy hour. I mean, we've always delved into the politics of sports, but we don't create the stories. We react to the stories that are being force-fed down our throats by ABC, ESPN, Disney. And it's become blatant. It's become offensive to a lot of sports fans. So it's pushed a lot of sports fans away. But I also consider Sports Realm to be a fun place where I can hopefully red pill some people that might not normally follow current events and politics as closely as I have. So just stay tuned. Type your comments below. What do you think? Browns are down 17. Do you think we have a chance to win? Do you think the NFL needs to change their policy? Do you think we're just about at the point where this is over? Do you think that we really do need to hide in the bunker for a couple of weeks or a couple of months while this passes? Let me know, and I will talk with you later. Take care. Peace.